Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be changing the engine oil and filter on this 2007 Honda Pilot EX. As you can see, the oil life is at 15% there. And we do have a check engine light on and a service engine light on, it seems. So we'll take care of those problems. I'll go ahead and plug my onboard diagnostic scanner in there, and we'll see what that check engine code is after I change the oil. But right now I've just started the vehicle. I'm giving it some time to get up to operating temperature so that the oil will drain out nicely. And then once it's up to operating temperature, we're gonna remove the oil fill cap and remove the drain plug. All right, so first things first here, we're gonna go ahead and remove the oil fill cap here. Don't let it fall down there like I almost just did. There it is. We're just gonna set it up here for safekeeping. All right, y'all, I am climbing under the vehicle now to show you the engine oil pan and drain plug. All right, here is the engine oil pan. And as you can see, it says engine oil right there. And there's a little arrow pointing to our drain plug. We're gonna grab our sockets here and remind ourselves what size that drain plug is. All right, guys, so I'm back up under here. Our drain plug is a 17 millimeter. So I've got my socket here, got my catcher guy here. I'm terrible with names for things. Anyways, this drip pan, whatever you wanna call it, we're gonna use that to catch our engine oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and get cranking here. We'll see if I can set this up somewhere where you can kind of see what I'm doing.
Looks like you might be able to see me crank from there.
All right, we got her loose. I might have over tightened that the last time I did it. So now that I have it loose, I'm gonna go ahead and just back it out slowly, and with my fingers here, and we'll start to get some oil coming out here any second. And you want to try not to drop your drain plug, because, oh, there we go. All right, we're draining. The next thing we're gonna do after we are finished draining, we're gonna put that drain plug back in after we wipe it off again. And then we're gonna remove the old oil filter. And I usually try to do this by hand. If I can't seem to get it though, this guy comes in really handy. It is an oil filter wrench. You basically hook this thing, put it under your oil filter, and when you pull on it, here, let me set this down. We'll see if I can show you. All right, so when you pull on it this way, it sort of clamps down on your oil filter and helps you pull it out of there. So if I can't do it by hand, we'll use this guy. All right, guys, I've got my flash turned on under here, and as you can see, we're still dripping just a little bit, but I've got my drain plug sitting on a paper towel here, wiped off and all cleaned up and ready to go back in. I'm gonna wipe that with a towel and put my plug back in, and we'll go ahead and tighten it to the torque specifications listed in my manual. All right, guys, I've got my drain plug back in, as you can see right there. Use the 17 millimeter bolt or socket on that drain plug. Got it tightened up nicely. The next course of action is to directly above the oil pan here, right above this part of the frame right here, you'll see we have our oil filter. Now I'm gonna try to remove this by hand if I can. If I can't, I'll use my wrench specifically for this, but sometimes you can just do it by hand and it's easier. So I'm gonna reposition my drain pan here so that it's underneath the oil filter, and then I'm just gonna reach my left arm up in here and see if I can't unscrew it. as you can see how close I am to the passenger side wheel here, and I can just reach right in. Also, you probably noticed that I don't have the vehicle jacked up. It's not necessary. Okay, it feels like it's in there pretty tight. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with my bare hands. Okay. So we're gonna resort to brute force and hope that that works for us. And this is why they tell you to do it hand tight. I must have really overdone it last time. Oh, she's finally starting to turn, guys. Oh my God. Way over tightened this last time. Don't be a fool like me and do that again. Okay, we finally got it off. Let's go ahead and slide that over. There comes the oil. It's typical. You can see all that oil that's coming down from where that filter was. All right.
Almost completely out. You just gotta unscrew it by hand. You're gonna get your hands messy.
See, I took my gloves off, so there it is. All right, there's our filter. We're gonna dump what's left in there into the drain here, or the drip catcher. All right. So once we do that, we're gonna wipe this thing off with a towel. And we're just gonna set it down here and move on to the next step. All right, so we got our oil filter off. That is where it resides. I'm gonna grab a towel here and just wipe off some of that excess.
Okay.
It is now just about time to prepare our new oil filter, which is exciting because that was kind of a bitch to get off. All right, you can see we got it wiped clean there. Nice surface there to attach our new one. Here's our new oil filter. Last time I got a Wix XP, but this time I just got the normal Wix. Here's our oil. Got SAE 5W20 advanced full synthetic because this thing's got high mileage. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna pop this guy open. We're gonna take a little peek at it. We're gonna, oh shit, look at me. I accidentally knocked my old one over. But we're gonna go ahead and just take a peek at them. They look pretty similar. The XP is a little bit bigger. It's got a little bit more girth to it. It's just a little bit longer, is what I meant to say. But anyhow, we're gonna set this one aside and I'm gonna try and wipe up this oil that I just spilled here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take some of this fresh, crispy oil here and we're gonna just dip our finger in it and we're gonna wipe it around this little gasket here. And that's gonna kind of give us a little seal there. So, one moment. All right, we've got our engine oil open. I just dabbed my finger in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit around the seal here. Just gonna, you don't want too much, you just kind of want to coat it. There we go. That looks pretty good. As you can see, we got a nice little coat of, oh, I missed a little spot there. There we go. A little coat of engine oil. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna just put a little bit of engine oil inside of the filter just to kind of like prime it. All right, we've got our engine oil in here now. As you can see, you can kind of see it down in there. I didn't put too much, just like a little slosh. I actually might add a little bit more because I think you're supposed to fill it like halfway. So I'm gonna do that and then we're gonna screw it on. All right, we are getting back under the vehicle. This is where she's gonna attach. We're gonna just pull it up there and you basically just kind of get it as straight as you can and it'll start to thread. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get it going at first. Okay, looks like we're on there. So we're just gonna tighten it up, and we're gonna not be an idiot like I was last time and over tighten it, because that was insanely difficult to get off. All right, we're starting to tighten up. I don't want to go too tight. I'm gonna maybe just go like one turn tighter. Right there is probably perfect. And we're gonna check for leaks anyways, so if for some reason it's not tight enough, I can always just come back down here and just tighten it back up. I'm gonna give it a little wipe here so it's nice and clean. We got some fresh new, well actually that's not clean because that was a dirty towel, but I'm gonna wipe it with a clean towel, and then the next step is to put the new engine oil in. Guys, we're back on top of the engine. We got our long funnel, which you want because where you fill it is pretty far down in there, as you can see. So we've got that in there. We're gonna add 4.5 quarts of oil, and then we'll start the engine for a minute, let it run, check the oil, and see if we need to add any. All right, just finished adding the 4.5 quarts of oil. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna screw our filler cap back on carefully. All right, hand tight, looking good. I did get a little bit of oil right here, but I wiped it up. Also, there are electrical connectors under here, and I got some oil on that, but shit happens. So we'll try and wipe it up as best as we can. We're gonna start her up, let her run for a few minutes. We're gonna pull out our dipstick here, check the oil level and see if we need to add any, and we'll go from there. We'll also hop underneath and make sure nothing's dripping from or leaking from the filter area or the drain plug. Right, so the vehicle is running. I'm gonna hop back under real quick and just check and see if I see any leaks or drips from anywhere. All right, so what you wanna do is just feel around up here, make sure nothing's dripping or feels wet. Feels pretty good to me. We're also gonna check over here, look at our drain plug, make sure that's doing okay. Man, that thing is annoying as shit. Anyways, looks like we're good. Okay guys, so yesterday when I was about to check the oil to see if we needed to add any after making sure we didn't have any leaks around the oil filter and the drain plug, my phone battery died. So it's been approximately 24 hours now. So my girlfriend actually drives this Honda Pilot, and she just got home a few minutes ago. I'm about to just turn it on, and we're gonna see what our temperature gauge is at here. All right, so we're still a little bit warm. If you can see right there, the temp gauge is reading at about maybe like 1/8 to 1/4. I'm just gonna pop the hood here and give the oil a quick check. We do still, oh, looks like the check engine light might have just turned off, but we'll double check that. Anyhow, I'm gonna pop the hood, check the oil, and see if we need to add any. All right, so our dipstick is just right down here. It's got this orange handle on it. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out. All right, there we go. So we're gonna wipe it clean, dip it back in, pull it back out, and we're gonna check to see where it's reading. Right now, without wiping it, looks like we're looking pretty good, but to get an accurate reading, you need to wipe it clean, dip it back in, and then check it. So we're gonna do that. All right, so just pulled it out after wiping it clean again. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we're well within the operating range. We're just gonna set it down here on this paper towel as flat as we can, and then I'm just gonna roll it over. We might even be a little bit low. Let's just do one more check here. All right. Yep. Maybe just a little bit low. Let's see if I can. Yep. Okay. We're looking good. We're within the operating range, but I'm still probably gonna go ahead and add maybe like a quarter to a half quart just to get it up to that full line. All right, so that pretty much wraps up changing the oil in your 2007 Honda Pilot EX. It's always a good idea after you change the oil, you know, just to maybe like a week afterwards, just double check and make sure there's no leaks coming from the filter or the drain plug. Pretty simple job. Might take you about an hour at most. Pretty straightforward from my video, as you can tell. When I started the video, we had to check engine light on, so I'm gonna grab my OBD reader and then hop back in here and see if that light's still on, and if it is, we're gonna find out what that code is. All right, guys, we're back inside the Pilot. I turned it on and the check engine light has turned off. So there's a possibility that that check engine light could have been related to needing to change our oil. Not quite certain. If it turns back on, I've got this handy dandy Innova onboard diagnostic. It's a 5110. It's nothing too fancy, but it will give you the engine error codes and also ABS codes if you have any of that going on. It's universal, so it plugs into all vehicles. But yeah, it's a pretty handy device. It's not going to give you live data, but it'll, like I said, it'll give you those codes if you need them, and then you can try to diagnose your problem from there. But thanks for watching, greatly appreciated, and I really hope that this helps somebody out there who has this vehicle and has maybe never done this before and just needed a little direction. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.